Welcome back to LUKAH'S Island for episode 11 with me, Mr. Silly P. I have spent a bit of time going around the island doing a bit of tidying up, collecting up fuel drums and all the various different things. I went over and got the fertiliser spreader, fertiliser/lime spreader, and the fertiliser from the newly discovered island. Came back over here and thought, you know what, I better get some more logging done to get the money up, ready for... Okay, that'll do. Ready for the next shipment to come. What I'll do now is get the stump grinder out, grind the stumps. We're clearing our way backwards. I mean, there's so much more here to do. I mean, I'm not going to run out of any lumber anytime soon, and there's a load more on the island. I'm not going mad. I could have cut everything down and just said, right, I'm going to buy myself a 600 horsepower tractor, but I'm only using what I need for the time being. I have to be very careful with this because if you get too close, if you get a clump of trees together, you can very easily remove a tree by accident, and that's all money in the bank. Yeah, see, these are very close. I mean, one tree on the scheme of things isn't too bad, but still doesn't hurt to be careful. So, actually done a few more than I thought I had. What do you think? Some of these might be from the last time I did some lumber. These aren't all from this time, I don't think. It just makes sense to do them as I go, only for getting the crawler through, for collecting up the next ones I cut down. Otherwise you're constantly trying to get over stumps. As if you've been watching right from the beginning, you'll know until I got the stump grinder, that's what I was having to do, and it was proving difficult, to say the least. Right, okay, that's that done. I'll probably see you in the morning. I'm just trying to think what other jobs I need to do now. I've had a bit of another scour around the island, see if there's any bits and bobs I've missed. This little trailer here, I haven't even touched this, haven't even used it. I haven't had to haul any logs anywhere. I thought I might have to, but I'm not going to get rid of it. It doesn't belong to me. We'll leave it there. If at some point we need it, fantastic. Oh, lights. The light's still on. Yeah. Excellent. (8:03). I watched the sun come up and had a lazy start to the day, really. I tell you what, sorting out the greenhouses yesterday was a result. We did the login, as you've already seen, and we were on 127, 129,000, something like that. Overnight, we're up to 204. I've done nothing else, haven't touched them. That's just the hourly, So our potential sales ability from the products, the produce, the lemons, the tomatoes, everything that we are producing gives us leverage in trade. That's what we're looking at. So don't look at it like we're passing over money. Like I said, if we're doing any jobs and we've been doing logging, we've potentially got lumber and palm oil. We're looking at lemons, tomatoes, that kind of stuff. So the money that's up in the top right hand corner is produce. It's that's what we're trading in rather than just finances. Anyway, this morning we are on the hunt for an elusive quarry, but not of the animal variety, an actual quarry, because we need lime. And I'm hoping that the quarry is on the volcanic island. I kept calling it the island, but it's the volcanic island. I don't know why I just didn't. It's got a volcano on it. Of course it is. Actually, we'll check on the chickens on the way past as well. We're piling up the egg boxes, but again, that's all potential trade goods. So this has got an 8,000 litre bucket. I'm pretty sure the fertiliser / lime spreader that we got yesterday only holds 2,000 litres. So there's no point in bringing anything other than just use the bucket. Let's check on the egg situation, and we'll check on these, because I would imagine, let's just open that up, these should, yeah, open silo, they're both good to go. I'm going to leave them covered for the moment. Actually, you know what I will do, because I didn't do it yesterday and I said I was going to. I was going to pick up the extra little bits, just put those to one side because they should be chaff. Get those out of the way. So we've got about probably 130 something thousand litres of silage now, which is going to be pretty handy. We do have some straw bales, we have some hay bales in that barn / building. Those rocks are in the way, aren't they? Or, more specifically, I put the bunker silo in a really silly position. Which is exactly what I did. Right, let's move this and we'll just dump this on the floor. We'll dump it with our other bits. Our log that we missed the other day. Oh, we've got some more barrels, actually, that's a good point. Are these barrels movable? We've got more barrels over here. We can take those over to the distillery. We have excellent stuff. They can hold our grog. Actually, I'll walk through, can't I, from here? We should have a few more egg boxes. I don't know how many. Oh, the grass is growing again, isn't it? Now, which are the new ones and which is the old one? I think that's new. Or is that one? I'll leave them there for the time being until we get some more. Otherwise, some of them are partially filled. I've got those 4 there. I think I've got another 3 over there. These wild chickens are doing us really well, aren't they? Right. If you didn't watch it yesterday, I put up a video. I said I was going to on the well, I'm still a little bit first look at seasonal changes, the blog that Giants posted. I mean, it's not, is it really? I mean, that's what I was a little bit, I think I said it in the video too. It was a bit of a weird one. That in the initial release announcement, and they put up a little video clip, and in their blog they put, there was a load of information given. And the blog from yesterday, well, it was the day before, wasn't it? It was the 12th. Didn't really add very much more to it. But if you haven't watched it, jump over, have a look. If there's no more information, they did release 12? Yeah, 12 new pictures of the sort of seasonal changes. I think potentially all from the same map, but they're playing their cards close to the chest. So, off to the quarry. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd mention it. Thinking about where we move forward from here. I mean, let's be honest, the quarry we're hunting is not that elusive. There's a quarry. It's not like it's hiding from us, is it? It's just here. It's a hole in the ground. So yeah, I think I've got my days mixed up. So I'm probably tomorrow is when the next ship's coming by, I think. I'm pretty sure. So what we're going to do is grab lime, if we can grab lime, and then we'll get some. We'll spread it on all the fields because I think all of our fields need it. I think I'm going to do some more water and manure runs. It looks like this machinery's been here for a while. But we are looking lime-esque. I mean, I'm saying it's lime. If it's not lime, that's got an incredibly high street value. proof of the pudding. It's lime. Was there any doubt? There's a fair bit here as well by the look of it. We should be okay. What I'm going to do then is, I suppose if we do the volcanic field first, so what I need to do is bring over the GT. I'm going to need some weight on the front of that though, aren't I? Because once the spreader's got 2,000 litres of lime in the back of it, there's no weight over the front otherwise. I don't know whether or not just put in, you know, the bucket attachment. No, not bucket. Well, I suppose it's a trailer, isn't it? It's the load carrying attachment. Whether that's going to be enough, it should be. We've got a bit of flickering ahead of us, and that is my fault. I think in the landscaping process I didn't bring the land up high enough, so there's a little bit of flicker there. You can just see in the horizon between the water and the land. You only get at certain angles, but it's a bit annoying, to say the least. I'm going to be heading off to Pastures New soon, I think. Not from here. I'll give it some thought. Yeah, probably. Probably. I'm also going to hopefully, today, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to put up a snow runner video. And I haven't done a snow runner video in so long, such a long time. I have been doing a bit, I've been playing on it, just for me really. I've been doing a little bit of, if I get a spare kind of half an hour here or there, sometimes an hour. And it's not always enough time to play and record, then edit, then post a video. Sometimes it's just, you know, I finish what I'm doing for the day, in between that and having my dinner, or between having my dinner and going to bed. It's like, you know, I might watch a bit of telly, I might think, oh, you know what, I'm going to stick the PlayStation on and just play a little bit. I've been, right, let's walk over and get stuff. So yeah, I've been trying out a lot of the new mods that have been coming out on SnowRunner and doing that, but on Tuesday the 18th, Phase 4 gets released, so I might do just a bit of a kind of, a bit of a play, just a bit of for fun, not sort of carrying on from anywhere in particular, just on a different map with a couple of vehicles, and have a bit of a chat about what's coming up in Phase 4. Nothing, you know, I don't know, kind of a stream-esque type thing, but not quite a stream, if that makes sense. So that, yeah, maybe that may be coming too. But I've been playing a lot of, say a lot of, again, not really a lot of, but I may have mentioned before that I watch Jimmy Broadbent. Jimmy Broadbent is a legend. And I was put on to Jimmy Broadbent by a very good, well, one of my best friends, Steve. And I've been watching him since, and the guy is brilliant. I absolutely love him, you know. I think he's fantastic, and he's a sim racer. He's been doing about 4 years, doing really, really well. A shed dweller. He actually lives in a shed at the bottom of his mum's garden. But he has just bought his first house and is moving out. But anyway, all that aside, he has done commentating on Gran Turismo tournaments, like esports tournaments. He's done commentating on all sorts of stuff. He's done racing when obviously all the COVID stuff and all the lockdown and all of that. He did a lot of esports racing, so a lot of the championships went virtual with like Formula 1 races and stuff. There's loads and loads of them out there, all these different championships, and he's been taking part in a load of those. Well, there's a company called PeterAH who are part of the Brick Car Championship, and they offered him an actual drive. He's got a Mazda, he does a bit of Mazda racing, and he does a little bit of kart racing, but they've offered him like a proper drive in the Brick Car series this year. They've already done the Silverstone leg and Snetterton. So he's actually, you know, he's gone from being a sim racer, playing on his gaming rig, which he's built up over time, to now he's got a proper drive. You know, it's absolutely bonkers. But anyway, what he's been doing when he's been doing his practicing and stuff, and he's got a really, really expensive gaming rig that a couple of the companies have helped him set up for doing his training for PeterAH, because obviously when it all started, it all kicked off and he got his drive, we were still in lockdown. He couldn't go anywhere wasn't allowed to go and train with the guys, so he was doing virtual training. So for Silverstone and Snetterton, he did a lot of training on Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. So I've been playing a little bit of that kind of almost, can I beat Jimmy's laps? I know he's doing it with a professional racing rig and all this gear, and it's amazing. Oh. Why did I think that was 2,000 litres? Oh, is it 2,000 litres maximum if you get the extension? So it's 1,400. That's not going to last very long. I may need to take this into the workshop and do the extension. How wide is the spread on this though? Because I think you can get it in various different widths, can't you? Whoa, okay, that's wide. That's crazy. Actually, that's amazing. That's a lot wider than I thought. We are going to get through the lime so quick, but the width of spreading. Now fields aren't that large. This is the largest of the fields we've got. So that's fantastic. Yeah, so anyway, I've been been doing a little bit of that. If you've watched any of the stuff on my channel, I did a lot of stuff with CLEG, a bit of Gran Turismo here and there, and I do a bit of rallying here and there. I do like racing games, so I've been doing a little bit of that. But again, off camera, just when I've had time. So 8,000 litres isn't going to go as far as I thought, necessarily. For some reason in my head, when I collected this, I thought, yeah, that's got to be 4,000. I should have backed up further, shouldn't I? 4,000 litres, 2,000 litres. So I thought 4 loads was what I was going to say. That's going to be 4 loads into that from the bucket. But there'll be more loads. So then what I'll do is, once we've done this field, I'll fill up this spreader. Then we'll go back, we'll fill up the bucket, we'll take both over to the island. I don't know if our silo, I think our silo is a multi-fruit one, so it probably will allow me to store lime. I mean, it's not that far really to the quarry, is it? Let's be honest. It's a different way of obtaining our lime. On some farms that you will go to and play on, the lime is free. I know on some of Jim's maps on Sussex farms and on Spectacle Island there's a kind of quarries, mines where you can get free lime. Some maps you have to buy it. It just varies, doesn't it, from map to map. Frustrating thing is we've got that big cultivator, but I can't pull it with anything because this is going to need cultivating. The end section was ploughed and I ran out of did I run out of barley? I can't remember what happened in the end, but so yeah, we're gonna get our liming done, and hopefully next go round with our planting and whatever we put in the ground, our yield will be much better because we can now, we can fertilise as well with this, can't we? So we can do muck spreading, we can do fertiliser spreading, we can do lime spreading. So we should finally be able to get the maximum yield from our fields, which up until now we haven't been able to. I mean, lime won't make a... I mean, it does make a difference, but not massive, but it will make a difference. I wasn't sure whether or not putting the bucket on the front of this was going to be enough to counterbalance the lime, and I suppose potentially had it have been 2,000 litres it might not have been, but I suppose I could always put lime in the front, couldn't I? I don't know if it's high enough though to fill up, because that would be quite a useful, have the front filled with lime to fill up the back when I need to, but I don't think, let's just switch to the front. Yeah, it's not going to be high enough, although if I drop that down and dropped it off, I suppose it might work, mightn't it? It's a bit of messing around, but it would give you a self-contained liming unit, wouldn't it? That might work quite well for fertilising too. Potentially. trying to think what other jobs I need to get done. We're out. Just thinking I was going to try and split the jobs. So I was going to do liming in this one, and then tomorrow when the ship comes by, we'll do a separate one when all our equipment comes. But in all honesty, I think now there's only so much liming you can watch, isn't there? Let's be honest. We've gone to the quarry, we've collected the lime, we're going to be liming our fields. You'll see me doing one, you don't want to see me do all of them. So potentially, once this one's done, we'll get stuff over and I'll start on the other ones. But what we'll probably do is jump ahead to tomorrow and we'll see what gear actually comes. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Now, as I mentioned in whichever episode it was, about all the suggestions for machinery and tractors, and people had all different tractors and things they had available they were prepared to ship to me. I've done the same thing with that as I did with, as I have been doing with uncovering new sections of the island chain, in that I gave CLEG a brief, but it basically just said I need a larger tractor. I want it around a certain horsepower. She's going to sort it and source it. So I'm not going to know necessarily what I'm going to get. I thought that might be a slightly more interesting way. Again, for me, only because as well, I've been really indecisive, and I'll be totally honest with you, off camera, I've been going through the mods hub, I've been going for and going for all the different tractors and different sizes, and looking at ones I haven't used before, and I thought, do I just want to, you know, I've got the Fendt GT, do I want to go for a newer Fendt, a larger Fendt? Then it's a case of looking for the ones that you get the biggest bang for your buck, so the most horsepower. And one of the ones I still love is the 51X, the Fendt 51X or the 515, I can't remember which one it is now. The one that I used on 6 Ashes. If you get the old paint on it, it's about 40 odd grand and it's up to 195 horsepower. That for me still is one of the best Fendts. It's brilliant, I love it. The gear shift sounds, but the problem is, again, you fall into that trap of I'll use that because yeah, I love that. So I've been going through and trying to find, you know, what one do I want, you know, going through the catalogue that Rumble Strip sent and saying what tractor do I want, you know. And like I said before, technically if I did more logging and built up my resources, I could pretty much have whatever I wanted, you know, from that aspect. But then I couldn't make my mind up. I'll be honest, it wasn't even a case of, you know, what do I honestly just could not choose, couldn't make my mind up on what to get. So I thought that would be the best option. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. Or for you, later. I know I'm going to forget something, but that's the beauty of being able to get ships come by every 2 or 3 days. If there's something we have missed out on, I'm losing lime out there, not gaining it. That's going to be interesting, trying to get those last bits. I have to come at those from the other side, I think. Yeah, I'm going to forget something on my list. I've been jotting a few things down, but unfortunately I'm a nightmare for it. And if you watch my channel for a while, you'll know that. Next to me I have my pad and I have my notes when I do map tours and all my other stuff. And if I finish doing a map tour, there'll be space on the page, so I'll jot down notes. You know, it might be a subscriber will mention something, or someone will say something, and I'll think, oh, I'll jot that down. And that piece of paper inevitably gets removed. I'll look down and think, oh, okay, I'm done with that. I did that map tour. I did, you know, and I chuck it out, and then suddenly think, what did I do with that note? That note I wrote down the other day, where is that? Done that a few times. I think the worst of those by far the week before, when I was on holiday, actually the week before I went away on holiday, and Jim had sent me the pre-release version of Spectacle Island on PC. It was the work in progress, it wasn't the finished one, it wasn't complete. And I already told the story when I did the map tour of the fact I spent hours looking for all the gold bars. And then when I messaged Jim, I said, I can't find them. He said, well, they're not on that one. I haven't put them on that. That's the work in progress map. I was like, oh, okay. So Jim sent me through the proper version. And I went round and surprisingly for me, I was very efficient. I went round and I think I found all of them. Maybe bar one. And I actually wrote down on a pad, on a piece of paper, I wrote down each one, where it was, with the coordinates, if I popped that open, bottom left, with the coordinates. So if I read the instruction and thought, oh, where was that? I could just go straight to the coordinates. Write them all down. Took them away with me on holiday because I did say if that map dropped, I was going to do the map tour on it. And then while I was away, I can't remember what I was doing. Something on my computer, on my PC, well, my PC, my laptop, that I took with me. And I used that piece of paper, as I often do, turned it over and made some notes on it. So when I got home after my holiday with Mrs. Silly P, I went through all of my bags and my box and my laptop bag, and I was like, what did I do with that piece of paper? I threw it away, didn't I? Because I looked down and thought, oh yeah, I got some notes on that from whatever I was doing, chucked it out. All the time it took me to go around, find them all, write them all down, write down all the coordinates for all of them. I'm just... But the flip side is, if I don't throw them out, I end up with piles and piles and piles of bits of paper, all with little scraps of information on. Oh, I don't know. There used to be method to my madness. Now it's just more madness than method, really, I think. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. I've chatted long enough. I will see you on the morrow, and we'll see what equipment we get. So, as always, in the light of being as transparent as possible, I know it's not the following day, I said I'd see you tomorrow. All the liming is done, and I thought, well, it actually makes sense to fertilise again, doesn't it? Then I've got maximum fertilising. All the fields were originally muck spread, but if I've got fertiliser and a fertiliser spreader, I'll do the second spread as well now. So they've all been cultivated or ploughed, whatever they needed. They had first load of manure, they've now been limed, now we'll do the second. Although, yeah, it depends how fast it gets through this. So I have only got one pallet of fertiliser, so I'll do what I can. Yeah, I don't know how far the fertiliser is going to go. I'll fertilise what I can until I run out. Hopefully tomorrow, if the muck spreader comes, then we can go back to muck again, because I haven't ordered any more fertiliser. And it's going to be too late to get it now. They will be on their way, I would imagine. Actually, you know what? It's not going through the fertiliser anywhere near the rate it went through the lime, so that's good. Crash into too many palm trees while I'm doing it. But yeah, like I say, it was just to show you that, you know, this is where we're at. The lime spreading has been done. It's not been kind of glossed over. And what should be showing up now, if we check on our mapping, there we go. Yes, all the lime's done. Obviously, liming on field 21 hasn't been done, can't be done. That's still got potatoes in it. I still haven't harvested those yet. And what I'm waiting for is a larger trailer. If we can get a larger trailer shipped, then I don't mind doing that, because then we can put them into a larger trailer. We can take them all over to the distillery and we can get them done in one go. That way I'm not going backwards and forwards with 8,000 litre loads at a time. That's all I'm thinking with that, really. interesting, there's a few patches. I'm assuming that's from... I don't know what that's from, actually. I'll be totally honest, I have no idea. Turn off, I'm wasting. Actually, you know what, I might run out. I'm just thinking, got the field to the left, those two, and then the big field out there. Maybe. The GT still proving its worth. Absolutely. "7:23 in the morning. The morrow has arrived." Does it ever arrive though? Because it is always the morrow. Anyway, exciting times. Did we get what we needed? Shipping has arrived. What was there? Where did I leave the GT? Oh yeah, GT's over on the volcanic island because I was fertilising that field. Fields are now pretty much all prepped apart from half of field. Oh, that's what I was going to say as well. Eggs I've been palletising, ready for shipping if anyone wants them. All the eggs I had were brought over, but obviously we'd have some more from overnight. I've got a funny feeling that all of the greenhouses need water and manure. They stopped paying out. So, yeah. And as you can see, our money, can you see? Yeah, money's gone right down. Products have been shipped, swapped. We have paid for the new equipment. What's it going to be? The remit? I suppose it was the remit that was given was the list of equipment. I've just realised something I forgot. Oh, it doesn't matter. Was the list of equipment that we've kind of been compiling. We've been talking about for the last few days. The tractor it needed to be over 200 horsepower. Well, between 2 and 250. I said I didn't want, don't go bonkers, but I wanted it 200. Only thinking about the fact we found that cultivator, which I reckon's got to be 150 to 180 horsepower requirement. And if we want to be able to pull a larger trailer and, ploughing with a larger plough, it's got to be 200 horsepower. So, look. Can you see? There's a load of gear on the dock. There is a tractor. What is it? It's red. Is it a case? What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, we're getting closer. I can tell we've got... Oh, actually, I was going to say, is that a windrower? Or a tedder? That's a windrower, isn't it? There's a trailer, definitely. Muck's breader. It's difficult to tell with the sun behind us. That's a Deutz. A Deutz. It's a Deutz Alice. That's a Deutz Alice. I did say I like these. 9190. That's it's 202 horsepower. Just that is between 200 and 250, isn't it? I guess 202. Two-wheel drive version. Oh, that's nice. American spec, I guess. So we've got a plough. We've got a windrow. Is that a windrow? Hang on. Trailer. It's a slightly different one. Hang on, that's a hang on. That's a windrower. Have we got two windrowers? That could be a mistake. Loading wagon, brilliant. Euroboss 330T. What capacity is that? got to be more than 8,000 litres I've got in the bucket at the moment anyway. So if we can windrow and collect, that's great. And we've got a larger muck spreader. 10T, don't know what capacity that's going to be. 15,000 something. My last one was 3,500 litres. So let's be honest, anything bigger than that is an absolute result. Oh, it's all an absolute result, isn't it? Fantastic. Oh, and a plough. We've got a plough too. That's Lizard 6M. There we go, 6M. Oh, let's start this up. Ooh. What do I do first? Oh, I know what I need to do first. I need to... Oh, actually, what I need to do... Well, I can do it with the other vehicles. I need to take water and manure round to all of the greenhouses. I'm puzzled then. That is definitely a windrower. That's the one. That's the standard in-game one, isn't it? I think. Yeah. This is the one that's got me a little bit puzzled. I've got one there. Yeah, the Blizzard GVS6U. I've got one of those on Westvet. Oh, it's a Tedder. Is it? The one I've got on Rasvet isn't a Tedder, it's a windrower. Oh, I'm not knocking it. It does mean we can make hay now. Right, what I'm cultivator. Right, let's see then. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Oh, hang on, has it got the carpet? Oh, it hasn't. Hasn't got the playmat. Oh, I was really hoping for the playmat. The playmat version. The US spec playmat version. Oh, that's nice though. It feels a lot bigger. Well, I mean, it would do. It is a lot bigger than the other one. Actually, what I will do, I think, our grass equipment, I might as well leave over here. This is where all our grass is. So I think we'll move a few bits around. But our grass gear will stay over here. I'm thinking as well, we may need to build a shelter over here. Maybe like a log shelter or something. Who does log shelters? Might be able to get in touch with Omatana. Omatana does log shelter. Well, there are loads of available. Let's go and grab the cultivator and let's. This is the next step again. The last shipment took us a step further. This takes us another step further. Slightly larger equipment, slightly larger horsepower. This does give me the ability to make hay. Sure, I can do no problem at all. But also now having a windrower, I can windrow and a loading wagon. I can pick up stuff a lot quicker. Which means the prospect of getting cows on the next shipment is a big one. Yeah, what I forgot, it's great, isn't it? I can now, we've got a plough, so if we do any crops that require the fields to be ploughed after as we can. We've got our fertiliser and loam spreader, which is great. We've got our larger cultivator that we found on the island the other day. It can't be over 200 horsepower, I'm sure it can't. Which means we can prep our fields a lot quicker, get everything ready to go, which is fantastic. But what have I forgotten? We have got a 2 metre seeder. Was it 3? I think it's 2. And the same for a planter. I didn't order a planter or seeder. Mind you, I couldn't, could I? I didn't know what size. I suppose I ordered the other stuff, didn't I? I did ask for a 200 horsepower, 2 to 250 horsepower tractor, so I could have, yeah, I could have ordered a seeder or planter that would have coped with both. Oh, it looks good. So next list. I need a pin board. That's what I need. So what I could have in a pad, what I need is a pin board. And when I make my lists, I pin them up, like in order of importance, I guess. And maybe what I can do then, if I've got little bits that I've got important notes, I can just rip those little bits out and just pin them up on a board. Maybe that's the way to go about it. Or whiteboard. I haven't got a lot of room for a whiteboard in all honesty. I'm under the stairs, remember, Harry Potter style. Right, so this is 7.4 metres compared to the 2 metre cultivator we've got at the moment. It's not saying not enough horsepower. Is it going to pull it at a sensible speed? 9 miles an hour. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's fairly flat. Nice. Nice. And that's the thing, I think, going through the options of tractors and the fact that I kind of do mod reviews and stuff, and I've said before, there are so many, you do all the mod, that's got a really nice tight turning circle to it. Wow. That's brilliant. And they kind of all blur, and then you might get some weeks where you get a lot of, not samey tractors is the wrong way, well maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit samey. You know, you get quite a few John Deere 6 series or 7 series, or you get a few New Hollands, or, you know, whatever they might be. So then when you do go through the mod hub looking at your small, mediums and large size tractors, it really does just, that is fantastic. I love the turning circle. It then does come down to either a manufacturer preference, or if you're not bothered about manufacturer, it comes down to a horsepower requirement you're after, or it may come down to a combination of manufacturer, horsepower requirement and price. If price is no object, if you're not bothered about it, if you've got tons of money, if you've got, you know, if you're lucky enough to have been given a government subsidy, then price isn't often the case. I mean, I guess it depends where you are with regard to your map and how much equipment you've got, and often slot count can be an option, you know, a factor. I know for people that want to run John Deere farms, it can be. But would I have necessarily picked this myself? This is that nice combination between, I'll be honest, the ones I'm using on Rasva at the moment, I'm really enjoying the Ukrainian, Russian, Soviet era type stuff. I really am enjoying using those, and it's a similar sort of thing. It's a nice cross between your older open cab, small tractors, the little Masseys and all those kind of little Deutzfahrs and stuff like that, and your more modern, larger horsepower as the horsepower's increased. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. I was watching Tom Pemberton, which I do anyway, and he mentioned a while back, and I didn't start watching him. I wish I had done actually. Tom Pepper, Dirt and Diesel, used to be the Ag Lads, and they changed their name, or he changed the channel name. I think he was more predominant, and he's still more predominant on Facebook. Puts his videos up on Facebook, but has got a bit of a YouTube presence now. Runs a farm and does tractor and stuff maintenance, but is a David Brown fan. I mean, like a big David Brown fan. He's got a few different tractors, and he did for charity, for cancer research, 1,000 miles on an old David Brown. I mean, like a proper old David Brown, open cab little thing. I mean, this thing went maximum 15 miles an hour with a little trailer on the back. And it's incredible. I was watching the videos on that. But he recently bought one of the very, towards the end of the, before David Brown got finally bought out, and it was a combination David Brown case 1690, a little bit like, actually, you know what, let's see if I can find one. Hang on. What we want is that. Tractors, is it under medium? Almost like the 72,000, a slightly older version than that maybe. I'm trying to think, I don't think I've got a modded one installed. No. A little bit like that. Yeah, kind of. So it's got case on the front, but David Brown down the side. I'm sure it's 1690. And this thing, when he got it, was a wreck. I mean, an absolute rust bucket. And he's gradually doing it up. And it's brilliant. It's so good. always remember my dad was a very big, I mean, he wasn't particularly a farming fan, so to speak, but he always used to talk about David Brown tractors when I was growing up. He was, you know, I don't know, not how he knew about them, but I really do like them. I've got a couple of models of them as well. So yeah, Tom Pepper, Dirt and Diesel. He did a second charity run for a local children's home. They did a 500-mile run, him and his mate. But yeah, I've been watching them, been enjoying that with the old David Brown stuff. It just reminded me of, and that kind of crossover, the tractor that he bought is that crossover between, why did I turn that one? Between the older open cab, lower horsepower, as the horsepower started to increase more and more. And unfortunately, kind of the demise of David Brown as a tractor company. I know, obviously, and like you said, well, I think it was funny. Obviously, I would imagine most people do know, but the David Brown Tractor Company is where the DB comes from Aston Martin. The DB was David Brown, it was the sports car side of things. So if you own a David Brown tractor, technically it's an Aston Martin. I mean, it is, you know, same company. That's what you can tell people. Oh, the reason I'm cultivating this, sorry, I know I got sidetracked. It's just I look at the tractor and I was like, oh wow. Cool, loving this. This is perfect. This is absolutely brilliant. So the reason I'm cultivating this bit is, one, it needed cultivating after we did the barley harvest, but because this field here, if we go over to here, has only got one lot of fertilizer here, two coats, so I'm painting two layers from when I did the fertilizing before, but because it hadn't been cultivated, I couldn't put the second coat on. So what we're going to do is cultivate it, and before I finish, we're going to stick the second coat on. And then what I'm going to do is spend some time bringing all the machinery over. I'm probably going to use that Grimmer trailer. I'm not sure what capacity it is. That's the smaller of the two, isn't it? That came with the Grimmer DLC. So it's got a slightly different back to it. It's got the Barnum and Bailey cover, the red and white. I don't know why, it just makes me think of that, like a circus tent type thing. But that's got to be 20,000 litres maybe? Something like that. Compared to the 8,000, yeah, it just saves 2 trips, doesn't it? It's the next increment. Oh, I could just watch this all day long. It's interesting about the whole branding things. We've got the Deutz Alice. I know we haven't got many Alice Chalmers tractors on console. Any Alice Chalmers. So it's a Deutz Alice. Deutz, I keep saying Deutz Alice. Because obviously they've got the deal with Deutz Farm. But they've got the case deal because they've got case tractors. So the tractor that, going back to Tom Pepper again, that Tom Pepper's got, which is that crossover case David Brown 1690. I'd be lovely to have one of those in game, wouldn't it? But I think personally. And again, it comes down to personal preference. These older kind of boxier and even the smaller open cab tractors may not be your cup of tea. You may not like them at all. You may just only prefer modern tractors and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. Of course it is. You don't have to. Not everyone has to like the same things. Just thinking now, we've got that bigger plough as well. We've got a lot of open ground here. Whether we should make this field bigger. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start off. Let's cultivate it. Let's fertilise it. Let's fold that away. Oh, that's brilliant. That works perfectly. So this cultivator's got to be sub 200 horsepower requirement, and I mean it might be a little bit over, but because it's flat, it's no problem at all. Like I say, I'm going to spend a bit of time moving the equipment. I'm going to keep all the grass stuff over here, but then also look at maybe cutting down some trees and getting a log shelter built to put our grass equipment in. The harvester I left here after we did the barley harvest, it just kind of I just pulled up, stopped and left it, because I don't know what order I'm going to plant everything in next. Obviously planting's going to take me a while because I forgot to order a seeder or a planter, so I'm still going to be seeding and planting at 2/3 meters. How much fertiliser have I got left in that? 482 should be enough. And on that note, that's where we finish. So what did we get? We got a Deutz Alice and a load of other cool gear, which means we can move up a notch. Let's ramp things up. So I need to get some seeding done next. That has to be the next step. Get some more stuff in the ground. I am curious to see, because we were offered that sugarcane gear. Obviously, like I said before, we won't get to keep the sugarcane, but will we get any of that shipped if that arrives at some point? So we could get sugarcane planter and a sugarcane harvester. Could turn up at some point. Don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't mind doing a field of sugarcane actually. Be interesting. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're still enjoying it. If you have, if you are, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.